Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the importance of the 10th place from the planet Saturn, that wheresoever it is placed in your chart. If you want to decode that, what is the maximum extent of position, power, authority which Saturn can bestow you? So that is something which you will try to understand in this video. So guys, today at the time when I'm recording this video, sun is exalted, moon is exalted, so that means it's the auspicious occasion of Akshaya Tritiya, so which is also very strongly connected with the Lord Parshuram, with the Adi Shankaracharya as well. So, and it's a Saturday, so you know I keep a fast on Saturday, so I was just thinking about making a video on something where a lot of gains and achievements are concerned. So nothing could be better than that on understanding the importance of Saturn and its maximum capacity to bestow good results in your life. So guys, when we talk about the role of Saturn, so beyond doubt that Saturn is the planet of justice. Saturn is responsible for our profession, with how much intensity you will do your actions, how much success you will get in your profession, and do you have this capacity to influence masses with your actions. All of these attributes are connected with the planet Saturn. And also guys, when we talk about spirituality, when we talk about meditation, when we talk about asceticism, or anything to do with the pains, agony, suffering, delays, frustration, all of these are the attributes which are chiefly connected with the planet Saturn. In one line, wheresoever Saturn is transiting right now in your life, in your natal chart, your tests and trials are right now taking place in that area. Now guys, this is a very kind of half-cooked information to attach Saturn only with the problems. Trust me, Saturn is the greatest taskmaster. Even in the guise of problems, it is somehow not only nullifying your karma, but also bestowing path towards achieving something good and big as well. Now guys, definitely here in this video, we will be talking about the importance of the 10th house from the planet Saturn. Now, for all those people who already have a very sound and good knowledge of astrology, so you already know this thing that planets have got additional aspect as well. Like in ancient times, whenever enlightened saints and seers, when they were observing the impact and influence of planets, they realized this thing that planets are not only exerting their where they are placed in the chart, but they are in a certain degree, they are also exerting their influence in those other houses as well. So from that we got to know about that Jupiter has also got additional aspects of like 5th aspect, 9th aspect, Mars has got 4th aspect, 8th aspect, and also guys, Saturn has got 3rd aspect and 10th aspect as well, and all the planets aspect the house opposite to them. But guys, there is also this mention in the classical astrology text that you have to also take into consideration, that if you have to see the signification of the children or progeny, so not only you have to see Jupiter, but the 5th house from Jupiter as well. Same way, if you have to see any of the concerns of relationship with your siblings, any of the concerns of property, so you have to not only see where Mars is placed, but in order to see your relationship with the siblings from Mars, what is the condition of the 3rd house from there, or any of the concerns of property from Mars, what is the condition of the 4th house from over there. So same way guys, when we talk about Saturn's additional aspect, and at the end of the day, we cannot even overlook the chief quality which Saturn represents. Saturn is the significator of our karma, of our actions and the result of that. And I have also mentioned this thing that over here a lot many astrologers, they might have difference of opinion, but whether in my own personal life or whether in my consulting experience, I can be sure of this, that 3rd aspect of Saturn is always the aspect of difficulties, putting more efforts and troubles. But somehow if your actions are being put with a very altruistic intention and you're working hard, you are able to endure any of the hardship which life is putting at you. So the 10th house from where Saturn is placed, or the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn, has got this capacity to give you authority or the rewards of all of your suffering or all of the hard work which you have done. Now guys, over here you have to understand this thing, that even when we are talking about the 10th house from the planet Saturn, so it's not going to be the case that you will start getting results from the house which is 10th from the Saturn. At the end of the day, planet is only going to be giving you results. Planet is only going to be producing results where it is actually placed in your chart. So even if it has to give you something connected with the matters of the 10th from it will still give it, or it will still produce the results from the house where it is placed. So that is the one thing which I want to make it clear before we will get into understanding this concept in all the 12 houses. So okay guys, now let's start our discussion. Now let's say, for example, if in your natal chart your Saturn is placed in the first house. So guys, over here it hardly matters that in which zodiac sign Saturn is placed, in which dignity it is placed, in which nakshatra it is placed. Like, trust me, if you follow the Lal Kitab, so Lal Kitab, just looking at Saturn in the first house, consider it as debilitated, because it takes into consideration the Kal Purush Kundli in a way that it attaches all the houses with the corresponding zodiac signs only. So okay guys, now let's start our discussion. Now let's say, for example, if in your natal chart your Saturn is placed in the first house. So guys, whether you will take up the case of Barack Obama, and I have seen lot many people in whose case, like who have remain self-made entrepreneur, self-made millionaires, or who have this capacity to influence masses on a very bigger way. So in majority of those cases, I have seen Saturn to be influencing their 10th house in one way or another way. So what has been generally seen, that the authority and the power comes to native by making himself an example of hardship, of struggle, of suffering. So let's say, for example, if with this kind of placement, if you are somehow, because guys, you have to also understand that when we talk about the first house is something where people are always looking at you, the world is looking at you, and the kind of impression they are perceiving from over there. So let's say, for example, if you are a typical case of nepotism, that with your Saturn in the first house, without proving your mettle, just because of your hereditary rights, or you are born in a family of politician or something, and your parents or your family is trying to establish a career for you, you might not find that success, or people will not accept you or take you seriously because you have Saturn placed in the first house. You have to prove your mettle. And guys, this is a kind of a placement where the 10th house from it, like, because from the first house is the 10th house is the actual house of your public dealing, of your profession. So generally it has been seen that if native has proven himself, this is a kind of a placement which generally bestows authority, position, power of the highest level. So this is the maximum extent of possibility which you hold. But again guys, over here as well, you have to make it very clear in your mind, results will only get produced from the house where planet is placed, but it has the capacity to give you the rewards of the house which it is expecting 10th to it. So guys, so in a nutshell, summarizing it, position and power will be achieved only via proving your mettle or making you a example or a role model of hardship. Now guys, let's say, for example, if in your case your Saturn is placed in the second house. So what does that mean? It means that from over here, Saturn is going to be aspecting somehow your 11th house with its 10th aspect, or the 10th house from the Saturn's placement is the 11th house. So guys, this is a typical placement which in a way influences both the houses of your income, because when we talk about income, gains, opportunity, supplementary income, it's the second house and the 11th house only which plays a very pivotal role. So guys, this is a kind of a typical placement that, let's say, for example, if native is making use of his financial decision making, because at the end of the day, Saturn has got very altruistic qualities attached to it as well. Now trust me, with this kind of placement, if native has got a very hedonistic lifestyle, or he has got a very kind of abusive nature and attitude towards his servants, towards his subordinates. So this is a kind of a placement which can actually destroy you or ruin you. But guys, over here actually we are talking about the benefic side of it and the maximum extent to which Saturn can bestow results. So again guys, 11th house has got lot to do with the popularity, with the authority position, same like 10th house. So I would say that over here, and 11th house has got an additional attribute attached to it, which is of income as well, which is of network as well. Like I've seen the charts of lot many people who have won Nobel Prize and the top of the prestigious awards, that in their case either Saturn was that time influencing their 11th house, or Saturn was placed in the 11th house in their natal chart. So again guys, with this kind of placement, right use of your tradition, of your morals, of your values, and altruistic use of your money in order to help people, bring a reform in the life of people and becoming a part of the collective. If these are the approach and attitude which native is going to inculcate, this position has the power to, like guys, specifically when we talk about all those multi-million businesses where, you know, large owner of large corporations and all, so this position has this capacity to bestow you that kind of maximum extent of results. But again guys, you have to understand this thing, Saturn will give you rewards of the 11th house, but the results will only be produced from the second house. So that means that how you manage finances, back in the mind or back in your subconsciousness, do you have this intention to help people or share your good fortune with other people or not? All of that is going to be judged. And most importantly, how you deal your labor, your subordinates or your staff, that will become very important. Now guys, let's say for example, if you have Saturn to be placed in the third house, so guys, this is the kind of a typical placement when we talk about the maximum extent of reward or position of power, because from over here the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn will definitely influence your 12th house. So guys, what I have generally seen is that this can actually make someone very crusader, very revolutionary, and in lot many cases, like if the overall chart is indicating that your actions and your karma is very very self-sacrificing in nature, or where you know, becoming a voice of the masses and bringing light towards all those causes which nobody is talking about. So that kind of crusade kind of approach and attitude can be connected with this placement of Saturn in the third house. Like the way guys, when we talk about, I guess there is one guy from India, Kailash Satyarthi, who won a Nobel Prize. So something like that. So guys, the moral of this placement is that if your actions have got this tinge, have got this flavor of sacrificing yourself for the well-being of these others, for like doing all those actions which are intended towards alleviating the pain and suffering of others, can actually give you position and power. So this is how we can see, or we can attach this placement of Saturn and its maximum extent of position, authority, power, rewards coming to you. Now guys, let's say for example, if your Saturn is placed in the 4th house, and definitely from over here its 10th aspect or the 10th house from it is going to be your first house. So guys, generally what has been seen here, I'm not talking about only the attributes or the results of the house where Saturn is placed, but moreover our vantage point is, or our main focus is, how the 10th house from it is going to be getting influenced, or the signification of that house are getting modified. So guys, because results are getting produced from the 4th house, so a lot many times it has been seen that in initial phase of life, or within the domestic life of the native as well, native might has to go through a lot of self-identity crisis, or not feeling or not getting that degree and sense of self-fulfillment from the near and dear people, which drive native towards doing something good in the society, like all those people who run big charities and all, and then at the end they get rewarded and they attain position and power. Because guys, when we talk about royal favors, so for that 4th house plays a very important role, very key role. Like in a way 4th house is also connected with public, so all the charities, all the voluntary work done by by native. Now this could be that Saturn make you go through depression or suffering, identity crisis, abuse or harassment from your near and dear people, which will take your mind more on towards serving to the public, like diverting your own pain in order to help other people. So this sort of mindset, this sort of approach can actually bestow authority, power and recognition in the society. And like the way, guys, I already mentioned this thing that somehow fourth house is connected with public, and from over here Saturn is influencing your first house. So that means whatsoever will be taking place in your inner turmoil and what kind of direction you are giving to it might shape up your personality and your public image. Now guys, let's say for example, if Saturn is placed in your fifth house, and definitely from over here it is going to be influencing the matters of your second house. So guys, this is a kind of a typical placement where I have seen that native tend to speculate a lot, and his speculative intentions, his speculative endeavors give the results in the matters of the second house. Now guys, the learning over here is that, like, if you will go by the astrology doctrines, like when you have Rahu in the fifth house or Saturn in the fifth house, it is generally prohibited someone to go overboard in stock market, in trading, in speculation, because one wrong move or one wrong transit, one afflicted dasha can completely ruin you. So this is what the nature of Saturn and Mars is. So guys, over here what matters most is that your intellect, your devotion will become very important, because guys, when we talk about fifth house is somehow deeply connected with our soul, because it is the original house in the original Kal Purush Kundli. This is the house which belongs to the planet Sun. So guys, the best fruits connected with this house is that because it is aspecting your second house. So when we talk about all those people who have built big empires or who have got very good financially affluent and wealthy lifestyle, so over here this position of Saturn has got this position and capability to give you those sort of results. But the lesson is only connected with this mindset and this approach that fifth house carries the energy of Sun, which has got a lot of ego attached to it, which has got a lot of energy of I, me, myself attached to it. So that sort of mindset needs to be curbed. Only if you can go beyond, you can transcend this sort of approach or attitude, this position has got this capacity to grant you good results. And also guys, because for the yoga, for the meditation, for the adhyatma, for the mantra siddhi, this placement is generally considered as very good. And also guys, as you know that when we talk about doing something original, doing something very new, which the world has not seen before, like whenever we talk about people who become a pioneer in any field, so fifth house and eighth house plays a very important role over there. So this is a kind of a placement where in the extreme case it can make you a pioneer, like all those people who have got the copyrights and all those rights in their name, that they have invented so many big things. But the only thing is that the lesson comes that you have to be a part of the collective, your ego has to be humbled, and the true intention, your soul should reverberate for serving the world. If this is what your mindset is, that rather than I should get this award, I should get this project, that how my contribution to this project can help others, can bring a reform in the society, this sort of mindset and objective building can actually grant you some very good results. So this is a very good placement when we talk about people who build empire and who are the pioneer in any given field. So this placement has this capacity to bestow those results. Now guys, let's say for example, if in your case your Saturn is placed in the 6th house, so again guys, the 10th house from it is your 3rd house. So guys, one thing is for sure, that Saturn is somehow at peace whenever it is placed in the 6th house. So this placement just tells about that when we talk about all those people who are being seen as a crusader, who are being seen as a very kind of revolutionary in the field where they are operating, with the kind of ferociousness you are working. So the result of that can also come in the form of lot of power being centered around you. So like you are in that position that you have got lot of signing authority, or we can also say this thing that this is a kind of position where if you are putting your wholehearted efforts for a very strong cause, this can actually give you very strong connections as well. Signing authority, strong connections can be attached as one of the byproduct of Saturn's placement in the 6th house and its impact or its influence in your 3rd house, which is 10th from it. Now guys, let's say for example, if you have Saturn placed in the 7th house. So guys, Saturn kind of find itself at peace whenever it is placed in the 7th house, because Saturn represents a common man, 7th house represents public. And guys, from over here, because Saturn is going to be exerting its influence in the matters of the 10th house from it, which is the 4th house, and 4th house also represents the kind of royal favor. And I've already mentioned this thing that when we talk about politicians and people in the federal government job who have their own businesses, somehow 7th house plays a very pivotal role. So guys, the maximum return from this placement will come in a way that I've generally seen those people that just because of their good conduct in the society, in the community. So whenever any crisis comes in the life of this person, in a very surprising way, aid or help comes to rescue this person. So let's say for example, just because without putting any thought, you just helped a random stranger at one stage or point of your life, and then that stage come that when you are going through some very severe crisis in your domestic life, in your family life, and that person suddenly appeared in your life and returned that favor. So this position and placement has got this capacity to bestow results in this way, because guys, when we talk about Saturn, so all of our actions are always in the eyes of Saturn. It is always monitoring it. So guys, whether your own actions serving to the public, giving you that inner emotional strength, because with all those people in whose case you will find Saturn in a strengthened place in the 7th house. So apart from being helped by people in their family life whenever they go through any crisis, I've also seen these people to be very strong fortitude. Like you will not find these people to be insecure. Like if Saturn is operating on a higher plane, these people will rarely be very insecure in their life. That is one thing which I can say with confidence. And secondly guys, as you know that all of the good work you are doing in the society can also get rewarded in the form of getting a ticket from a political party or some sort of acknowledgements for all the charitable work which you have been doing. So all what matters is that whether you are a business person, you are a politician, you are an accountant, you are a dentist, your intention has to be of serving people and bringing a reform or improving the life of people with your actions. That is all what matters the most. Now guys, let's take our discussion to Saturn's placement in the 8th house, and the 10th house from it is going to be the 5th house. So guys, obviously in my case as well, I have got Saturn placed in the 8th house. So before I will give you the general results, I will give you my own understanding of this placement, like the kind of results which I have experienced. Like the way guys, why we say this thing that if in someone's chart, like 4th house lord is in the 8th house, ascendant lord is in the 8th house, we recommend that moving away from your birthplace is more recommended for you. The only concern over here is that specifically in the case of malefic planet like Saturn, from over here it gives its straight aspect to your 2nd house. So these are kind of those people who go through lot of dissatisfaction, lot of problem on the account of their immediate family members, no matter if Saturn is in a strengthened state in the 8th house or not. If it is going to be in a strengthened state, it will protect the signification of the 8th house. It will give you long life. It will make you expert occultist. But in maximum cases, native is going to have severe issues or suffering on the account of the immediate family members. Like this could be your uncles, paternal uncles and all. That is the only reason moving away from your roots many times help these people to flourish more. Now again guys, now coming back to the topic in consideration. So guys, this is a kind of a typical yoga where the rewards can come in the form of your Ishta Devata's Bhakti can give you Siddhiya, can give you transcendental awareness of the highest order. Because guys, when we talk about all sort of magic, all sort of life and death experiences, intuition, so all of that is somehow connected with the 8th house. So result is only going to be getting produced from the 8th house, but just because the 10th house from it, the rewards are connected with that house as well. So 5th house has got chiefly it is connected with the your past life merits and your Ishta Dev Bhakti. So let's say for example with this kind of placement, you are a devotee of Shiva, you are a devotee of Krishna, you are a devotee of Lord Hanuman, or basis your religion, you are very devout person towards your religious austerities, towards the doctrines and teachings as it has been mentioned in your religion. So this placement can actually give you siddhya, power. So the way results are coming, guys, so as you can see that not only you are getting the blessings and grace from the gods or the kind of religious austerities you are performing, but also you also have got the access to the things which you have been doing from the past life as well. So whatsoever process you have initiated from the past lifetime, so continuing that or reaping the reward of that can also be connected with this placement of Saturn being in the 8th house. So guys, as you can see that chief reward are also somehow connected with your 5th house as well, and results are getting produced in this way from the 8th house. In a way, Ishta Devta's Bhakti and grace is coming to you from the 5th house. Reaping the reward of your past life is also coming to you, and all of that is taking place only because Saturn's placement in the 8th house and how much you are devoted towards your religious austerity, the devotion, research and exploration in occult somehow is intimately and very intricately connected with this axis of Saturn being in the 8th house and the 10th house from it, which is the 5th house. Now guys, when we talk about the Saturn's placement in the 9th house, so definitely guys, this is a kind of a typical placement where from over here it is going to be influencing, or the 10th house from it is going to be the 6th house. So guys, a lot many times it has been seen that these are among those people who are the wise old councilmen of the society, of the communities. So a lot many times what is being seen with this placement is that natives' own life journey and life experiences inspire people on a very bigger way. Like for example, whatsoever this native has accumulated as his own personal life journey, wisdom and experiences, writing it in the form of a book or creating content out of it and educating people through his own experiences will definitely bring light and reform in the life of people. It is going to alleviate suffering of the people, and which might also become responsible for native getting position, native getting power and all, and being always well guarded by his friends, family and well-wishers in the face of any crisis, in the face of any issue, can be attached with this placement of Saturn. Now guys, let's say for example, if you will find Saturn to be placed in the 10th house. So guys, as you know that Saturn gets exceptionally strong whenever it is placed in the 10th house, and also the 10th from it is another angular house, another Kendra Bhava. And generally this is a kind of a combination which is considered as the Uch Pad, like 7th house represents Uch Pad, because if you will even apply the concept of Bhavad Bhavam, so 7th house is 10th from the 10th. So guys, like here, because we are talking about the maximum extent, so in lot many cases I have seen this thing in research, like when you come across all those people who are very top political figures, but when you go back to their life journey, they did not start their professional life as a politician. They were good in their chosen craft, in their chosen field, and because of their exceptional talents, their good intention to help people, they were handpicked by the governments to help them form policies. So this is a kind of a maximum extent to which Saturn can bestow you results, give you authority, power to serve, to get rewarded for all of your actions when you will find Saturn to be placed in the 10th house. Now guys, let's say for example, if we will find Saturn to be placed in the 11th house. So again guys, from over here, Saturn is going to be aspecting your 8th house with its 10th aspect. So guys, a lot many times I have seen that this is a kind of a placement, because whenever we talk about big inheritance or big responsibilities, big position, serving to the collective humanitarian causes, 11th house plays a very important role over there. So guys, a lot many times it has been seen that native gets rewarded because of talking on some taboo issues, some taboo topics, or all those issues which are there in the world, in the society, but no one is talking about that. So if you have this kind of ferociousness, audacity is not the right word to use, I would say courage, to bring the world's attention towards all these issues and crisis which is negatively influencing the public, the world or the masses, so results can come to you. So yes guys, this is how I will correlate it. So good intuition can also come to you, and finding the solution to any of the ongoing problem in a very mysterious way, and moreover if your intention is pious, altruistic, and you're working hard towards bringing the world's attention towards all these issues and topics which no one is talking about, this position can give you rewards and good results. Guys, when we talk about Saturn's placement in the 12th house, so the 10th house from it is going to be the 9th house. So guys, what has been generally seen that the sacrifices, suffering and hardship of native can actually hold this potential and capacity to give him a god-like status in his chosen field, like the way when we talk about cricket. So people you will keep on coming across in the magazines with the headlines like Sachin Tendulkar, god of cricket. So same way, like the way there are those people whose hardship, whose work has inspired millions of people. And also guys, one thing which need to be understood over here is that if you are actually devoted towards the well-being of the society, of the community, you might be getting this feeling that okay, I'm all the time I'm not in the limelight and all of my hard work is going in vain. But trust me, it's your actions and it's your karma which is acting as a divine shield of luck and fortune, or kind of a guardian angel which is protecting you in the face of any of the hardship. So yes guys, this was just a basic overview by which I wanted to tell you. It was the auspicious occasion of Akshay Tritiya, and I actually wanted to make video on some important topics. So I hope, like the way this is a occasion where we say that whatsoever good deeds you do, the result of that always prospers, always grows and benefits us. So I hope this topic has also informed you well, and for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.